Hello, I'm on my vlog this morning walking downtown Atlanta. Stay at the W Hotel. It is my beehive, my home base. So I want to give you an update on Mr. Michael Burton, if that's his name. The supposed 75-year-old Vietnam veteran who was in town for a specialty cancer treatment at Grady Hospital. Well, you have to be careful when you're out here helping people for your safety, number one. I do not recommend anybody doing this. I worked in commercial television for years, and so I was always on the street anyway. I did live breaking news. So I knew homeless people. They gave me my tips on the stories that was going on. So when somebody gets murdered or something like that, the police don't know what's going on, and the community don't know. And I wouldn't know, but for the fact that I knew homeless people. And they would tell me everything that was going on behind the scenes that they wouldn't even tell the police, because I'd feed them and I would eat with them. So anyway, I had been with Mr. Burton, I don't know. Actually, I stayed over to make sure that he was okay, because supposedly he had gotten the prognosis of only 45 days to live. They were supposedly prescribing him morphine, that he was to go home back to Seattle and die where he had a 5-bedroom house, because he was supposedly a Vietnam veteran from the Marine, retired from the local power utility, probably getting $10,000 to $12,000 a month in pension and Social Security. He didn't tell me that. I assumed that because my uncle and other people I know who have retired, that's about the range that they get for the similar work that they've done. So anyway, he overplayed his hand. I had given him money to go and get a cell phone. He came back without the cell phone, saying that given his situation where he came here and he got robbed, that they wouldn't let him get a phone. So I'm like, okay, all right. I've sent out emails to television stations, the mayor's office, the Chamber of Commerce, Southern Power, the VA about his case, because he had told me that Atlanta had treated him very, very poorly. So I wanted to address it and do a whole documentary on it called Not Home Yet. People are not homeless, they're just not homeless yet. So to make a long story short, gave him the money for the phone, gave him the money for a room. He mentioned that he needed some more money to stay somewhere. And I'm like, I thought I gave you $50 that should keep you in a room till Friday. So little things start to add up, and I spent enough time with him to check out his patterns and hear these stories come back, echo off of him a couple days later, and something started to sound a little amiss. So anyway, gave him the $75 he needed it for his copay to get his morphine medication. I never saw any medication. He never discussed it again. So yesterday, the day before yesterday morning, he was calling me every day from people's phone, 3-4 times a day, tugging on my heartstrings. I need you to come help me. I'm over here by this park and I almost fell and da-da-da-da-da, and somebody robbed me. So anyway, the other morning, an Emory student, 18-year-old Samad, asked me a question, an email, because he had used Samad's phone to call me. He asked me, Mr. McAfee, to paraphrase, how is it that you verify the stories of the people that you help? And I gave him a philosophical, like spiritual answer that says, you know what, first of all, as a human, my goal is to help a human regardless as to what they're doing. So I don't really need a verification to do that first move. But I had to be honest with him. You should have a method by which to verify people's story if you're going to do things like sending emails to the mayor's office and so on and so forth. You should know who you're talking to. So because he asked me that, I decided that the next time I saw him, I would let him know, all right, I'm a journalist, I have image and television, so now it's time for you to verify this story, because I can't go further in reaching out to entities to help solve your issue. We verify and vet our sources. This is a bedrock of journalism. So I let him know that now our relationship is going to change to one of more of evaluation of the facts. Now, one of the last things he had said to me was, "Hey, I want to." We were working on a power of attorney, so a medical power of attorney, so that I could speak with the VA and other places without him being there, because he was supposedly very sick and really couldn't stand for very long. So he had gone even further to say in our conversations before the very last one that we had, that he wanted to extend that power of attorney because he didn't have a wife or kids. His wife died years ago and his son died of sickle cell. That he wanted to extend that power of attorney to give me his house and all the stuff that he had in Seattle. I told him, I don't need your house. I'm cool, but thank you. So last time I saw him, I said, hey, speaking of house, what was the address of your house in Seattle? He gave me something Hawthorne, like 834 Hawthorne Drive or Street. I immediately Googled it and it didn't come up. And I said, oh, wow. I said, sir, now the whole time I've been with him, he's telling me where things are in this city. Oh, that's St. Luke's Park and it's on Edgewood and so and so and so. And you go over here and it's on Ted Turner and da da da. I said, well, I thought you've only been here 11 days. How do you know this? He's a former military guy. He's old school. So their brains work a little bit different than ours do. Younger people, we use GPS all the time. Maybe somewhere along the line in his reconnaissance duties in the military, he was keen to know those details and cross streets. So I said, why is it that the street does not come up when I put it in? Oh, it's Google or Gmail. Sometimes, this technology don't find houses, and I know that that's not true because I use Google Maps and Google all of the time, and when it does not find an address, rarely does it not find an address. So I was awakened. A guy who's been walking on these streets only 11 days, but knows all of the cross streets, who can guide me without me having to use my GPS. When I ask him the street address to his home in Seattle, he gives me an address that doesn't come up. When I ask him what is the zip code of the home, he can't remember. And that's when I began to put it all together. So the dear sweet Mr. Burton, who's 75 years old, who I have been spending all my money with, spending all my time, cutting into my business, emailing the mayor's office, emailing the VA, emailing Grady Hospital where he was supposedly going to get a specialty service, has been bullshitting me the entire time. For a whole solid week. Now I cannot tell my people this, who I've been telling the story about, because then they'll look at me like I'm a fool. So I'm gonna probably keep that information to myself. I've had a television crew come out and shoot his story. Shot it on my phone first, hired somebody to come out here and shoot it. He's edited and put it in an episode. And even still, my faith in humanity has not waned. I've interviewed probably 4 or 5 homeless people, and I guess you have to deal with the law of averages. The law of averages says that out of 10 people that you attempt to help, maybe 8 of them are going to be lying about significant amounts of their stories. And maybe it just comes down to 1 or 2 who are actually telling the truth, who actually need help, who are actually sincere. And maybe that's just what it is. And it's worth all of the time and all of the money. I've been feeding people every morning. My Starbucks bill has been $30 and $40 every morning. I most certainly see, oh, I'm standing in the dark. That's where I stay. Love that place. Yes. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's all you're gonna get. This is the Bank of America building. I just love. This architecture is phenomenal. Maybe that's what it is. So now my hotel bill is astronomical. My fees are astronomical. My girl, who, when you're with someone, you share finances a lot of time. She's like, what in the living hell are you doing? You burning money. You burning through our money. I'm telling her, hey, I'm doing the Lord's work. Stand down. I can't tell her this guy lied to me like that, but all the time. She's a medical laboratory scientist. She has gone so far as looking at sour sop and what are the healthy alternatives to petroleum-based medication that can help him stay alive. I can't go back to these people and tell them that this guy was lying to me, because then when I talk about somebody else, they won't be inclined to listen or help. Even further, they'll turn on me saying that I'm a fool. And have I not learned my lesson yet? Well, I'm going to say it's still worth it. I'm going to say still try. But I'm not going to lie. I wish I could kick his fucking ass off into a goddamn whale. Wasting my motherfucking time. Well, that is it.